following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. This is the SA Badger, and today I'm going to be reviewing the gang, the only gang, Chico, that ever mattered in the stinking hole. And that gang is the NWO. And when you're NWO, you're NWO for life. Now get ready for me to carve New World Order up. Hey, so welcome to the review, guys. So today, like I said, I'm going to be reviewing the NWO, specifically just the core three members. That's Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and of course, Hollywood Hogan. So just a brief background why I'm actually going to do this, guys, is because my reviews, I really want them to be of things that I hold dear. Okay. Now, I'm a huge wrestling fan since I was a little kid, even to this day. But these three guys formed, if you don't know, the NWO, the New World Order. And it was a time in wrestling where it kind of got stale. We just needed something to stir the pot. And to this day, it's probably the biggest stir of the pot that ever happened. I mean, a lot of people still argue that they wish wrestling could go back to that kind of time, that kind of era, which I agree, you know, it was awesome. But I think it's awesome in the nostalgic sense. I don't think it's something that could have continued to go on and still have the same effect. It's all about evolution. You had to change it up, guys, because no matter how cool, how badass, or how trendy you are, if you just continue to repeat yourself, you're just going to burn the product out. Nobody's going to care about it anymore. You know, take characters from the 60s and look at them now. You know, for example, Batman, the Joker. There were still those characters. We wouldn't really care about them now. It's about character evolution. So I think the same thing goes with wrestling. You know, it has to be evolved. Now, again, I think people wanted to go back just because of that nostalgia. But if it were to actually happen, I think it would burn out after a while. Anyway, NWO was pretty much running rampant. It was a time in wrestling where it caught your interest. You had this NWO part of WCW that they needed something to survive. So they did this storyline for years about this faction. Looked like they were invading this organization and taking over. And that went on for years, and it was so new, so intense, and so interesting that people were jumping ship from the main company, which is WWF at that time, and watching WCW. And WWF got in some serious hot water. They were nearly going to go out of business because people weren't finding their product interesting anymore. I mean, honestly, me myself, I would watch it, go back and forth, but eventually got to the point where I would just watch WCW because I was like, WWF was boring. So when WWF stepped it up, you know, characters like Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Attitude Era Shawn Michaels, the Attitude Era Undertaker, The Rock, you know, characters like that. It was just crazy insane. So then we had competition, and competition creates greatness. And yeah, sure enough, WWF was able to overcome that obstacle and overtake WCW, even with the NWO, and they went out of business. So to this day, there's nobody even been able to step up to WWF, or now it's WWE. Anyway, guys, these are the three guys again I'm going to be reviewing. Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. It'll be a quick review of each character, guys. I mean, they're just wrestling figures, not really much detail, not really much to talk about. You just see it for yourself. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so I'm starting this video out with Kevin Nash. one of the founding members of the NWO. I'm actually going to just do the review on the main three guys. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, yo ass better call somebody. Anyway, this is Kevin Nash. Big sexy, big daddy cool. But yeah, some high points of him. I wish this outfit would have came in his red attire, the outside attire. But the three figures that I'm going to show you, these are the Jack Pacific figures when they actually debuted in WWE as the NWO. It would have been awesome if they would have been able to put his old red attire. I know they do have one attire that has that. But yeah, this was the NWO Kevin Nash that came. There's his face, blonde hair, kind of dirty blonde. Yeah, and Kevin Nash would always color his hair different colors, but you know, that's just him right there. There's a second guy to actually debut when the NWO formed. And speaking of that, I'm going to be doing the guy who actually did debut first. Inspiration from my intro there. Hope you liked it. Anyway, Kevin Nash. Hey, yo, Chico. This is the bad guy, man. This is Scott Hall. That's right, it says so right there on his chones, Hall. Anyway, again, this Scott Hall guy is awesome attire. I love the vest. They got his little curl going on right there. There's his toothpick. Spit in your face every single time. The bloody vest, the red and black colors, which was outsider colors, honestly, which I loved. Right there, Lone Wolf, the Click. If y'all familiar with that, you know, it was him, Nash, Triple H, Shawn Michaels formed their own little clique. That's where that comes from. Yeah, I love this Razor right here. Well, Scott Hall, I should say. I was also known as Razor Ramon. They're the red boots. Like I said, you know, in time, the NWO split into the Wolfpack, and the Wolfpack color was red and black. But I don't know. I never really cared for that because I always thought, you know, there was a red and black, but the only people in NWO that should ever be wearing the red and black should have been Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and that's it. It was kind of like, hey, we're the first two that really initiated this, started it up. You know, that's why we stand out from everybody. Even Hogan. I mean, Hogan came in third, and yeah, he was a driving factor once he joined, but these were the originals right here. You know, awesome. This guy was never gets old, man. Look at his promos. It's like, one more for the bad guy. And this is the man himself, the icon of wrestling. The biggest icon in wrestling, Hollywood Hogan. This was the NWO belt, spray painted. Man, that was awesome. Every time he won the belt, they just desecrated that history, that tradition of professional wrestling, just spray painted that NWO on it. Probably my favorite one from the three, just because of the detail this one actually has. There's his pants, the electric bolts, his boots, so I can get this into focus. Yeah, the flame boots. Championship belt. The boa, man. This boa is awesome. It came with it, and I love when he would wear this to the ring. He's just like a pimp, you know, like he just knew he was the man, the icon. Couldn't nobody tell him anything. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh, there he goes. Hollywood face on. There's his boots, wrestling boots, laces, NWO belt. Oh, the WCW belt, spray painted NWO. There's his face, the blue eyes, handlebar mustache, spray on beard, Hollywood on the bandana. Just an awesome figure. So, just wanted to do a final take with all the NWO members together. Legendary group is what started it all. Actually, I honestly got to believe that if it wasn't for this group that wrestling would have not been the way it is now. That's not to give credit just to these guys, but come on. Competition creates greatness, honestly. It was during this time that everybody had to step up their game, you know? When the NWO came in, WWE was going down, so obviously they had to do something. And here came the NWO, something unexpected, something new, different, fresh, awesome. And WWE had to step up their game. You know, and that's exactly what they did. So once they stepped up their game, then it was it was about just trying to beat each other. And honestly, that's what it came down to. Eventually, WCW went out of business, and WWE is the one who stayed standing. But like they always say, competition creates greatness, right? So and essentially that's what happened. You know, it's an era that will never be forgotten to this day. You know, people still talk about it. You know, there's a lot of other factions, cliques, tag teams, whatever you want to call them, that come and go. I mean, you don't even remember them. But NWO, to this day, people remember. And why? Because when you're NWO for life.